Like you're like the coolest people we've ever Skyped in. Any other questions from the audience? Yes, here in the front row. Yes.
How has your political ideology changed from when you were young men?
How has your political ideology changed from when you were young men?
How about political ideology changed from when we were young men?
Well, really not much. The political scene hasn't changed much.
Yeah.
Guys in the White House speak what they want, and we as people want what we want. So it hasn't changed much.
Fair enough. Another question, yes, on the side there.
What was the first song you guys jammed on?
What was the first song you guys jammed on?
The first song we ever jammed on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. The first song that me, Dennis, and David really ever jammed on was, I don't know, just an original piece that we did. We didn't even name it. I think we just came up with something, and that kind of set us on the course to creating our own music. We knew that we had connected, just making some music that we liked. David we had a little cassette tape recorder, and we recorded it, and we listened back to it, and we just liked what we heard, and it just excited us enough to continue to keep going. So it's just an unknown song that we jammed on that we love.
Well, what was the last song that you jammed on?
But this right here, this thing right here, that was released by Jack White's record label, Third Man Records, is the first recording that we took into the United Sounds recording studio. So this was our first recording when we became Rockfire Funk Express. So this is really the first official recording from myself, Dennis, and David.
Cool. Okay, let's do maybe a couple more questions. Anyone else from the audience? Yes. There.
Do you think you'll be coming back to Vancouver anytime soon?
Will you be coming back to Vancouver anytime soon?
Please.
We love Vancouver, man. Yeah, we'll be back.
Yeah.
Big cheers from the audience. And let's do another question, or there on the side. Yes.
You guys were one of the first to really do the sound that you do, the whole punk thing. What do you think of the punk movement that came after you guys? What do you think of other bands like the Misfits and Black Flag?
So the question is, you guys were one of the first to really create the punk sound, and what do you think of punk bands that came after you guys, like, say, for example, the Misfits? What do you think of other punk bands?
Well, like we said many times, when we created this music in Detroit between 73 and 75, when we were recording the album For the Whole World to See, we just considered it as hard driving rock and roll. The term punk hadn't even really, back then, if you said punk to someone, those were fights. So, you got either a black eye or a bloody nose if you called me a punk back in the 70s. and vice versa. So we're just appreciative that the historians, rock music historians, have labeled us as our sound predating punk. We appreciate that, and we embrace it. But there again, like I said, we just called it hard driving Detroit rock and roll. The great bands that came out in the 70s, like the Clash, or the late 70s into the 80s, like the Clash and the Sex Pistols, we liked those bands. We thought that they were great, especially the Clash. I think the Clash reminded us more of a lot of stuff that we were doing, and me and Dennis connected with them probably more because at the time we were playing reggae music, and the Clash had really embraced reggae music. So really, that was kind of our gateway into the whole punk movement, if you want to call it that.
What are you guys listening to now? Like anything on your iPod that we should know about?
We should know about probably still more of the same. We listen to the same great stuff. Like the Who and Iggy and MC5 and you know, we tune into, you know, some of the great bands of today.
Kings of Leon.
Kings of Leon, Pearl Jam, you know, Coldplay. We tune into some of the great music that's happening today as well.
Let's take one more question from the audience. Anyone? Yes, there, Natasha.
Can they hear me or no?
No, just repeat. I'll repeat it.
Okay. I just want to say it was such a pleasure to get to meet you after being so inspired by your documentary, and that your concert the other night was one of the best I've ever seen.
We have a comment from Natasha, who you may recall from Zulu Records, who said she was inspired by your music and the documentary and thought that your concert at the Rickshaw on Friday was one of the best she's ever seen.
Thank you very much for that. We thank you.
That is fantastic. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. I know it's like a time zone nightmare for you guys, and coming up tour, you're probably exhausted, and you just want to veg out and do whatever it is people do in Vermont, like, I don't know, eat Ben & Jerry's or something like that. People do in Vermont. Anyway, again, thank you guys so much, and we love playing the movie, and we cannot wait to see you guys next time you come back to Vancouver, and we'd love to have you here at the Rio.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks, guys. Have a great night.
Down the road.
Thank you. Awesome. Well, we're going to start the movie real soon. So if you guys, we've got some trailers. So if there's anything that you guys want to get before the movie starts, we'll start it in a few minutes. But thank you guys so much and enjoy the movie.